Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We have our Sea Grant Marine Mammal webinar. I am going to introduce myself. I'm Danny Bailey. I work for Texas Sea Grant, and I am part of the Oil Spill Science and Outreach Program, which I'll get to in a little bit. Today, we're going to be talking about marine mammals. If you have any questions while we're going through the program, we're going to answer all of them at the end of this talk. So we're going to have 3 speakers and then a panel of 5 to answer all of your questions. So as we're going through, feel free to type your questions into the Q&A box. If you have any issues, please type everything or anything into the chat. And we will go ahead and get started. It looks like we're just about ready. So I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Oh, move it over here. Perfect. All right. Welcome everyone to our Marine Mammals Reflections on New Research After the Deepwater Horizon Oil Spill. So to start out with, I want to tell you a little bit about Sea Grant itself. So Sea Grant is 34 university-based programs. So anywhere there's a large body of water, Great Lakes, an ocean, we're there to help work with it. We are non-advocacy and science-based for our information. So we like to try and do as much research, education, and extension as possible throughout the communities that we work. And then we have 50+ years of serving the American coastline. So within that research, education, and extension that we do, we focus on healthy coastal ecosystems, sustainable fisheries and aquaculture, resilient communities and economies, and environmental literacy and workforce development. So those are some of our core areas within our Sea Grant programs. So if you ever need anything from Sea Grant, there's a Sea Grant near you, please reach out. I am part of the Gulf Sea Grant team. So as I said, I am Danny Bailey, and I work with all of these wonderful team members to make research or make outreach and information get spread throughout the Gulf. So we have our supervisor, Steve Sempier, who is in Mississippi, Alabama. We have Tara Skelton, who is also in Mississippi, Alabama. She's our wonderful communicator and having all the tinkering in the background behind the scenes. We have Emily Mong Douglas, who is in Louisiana. Monica Wilson, who's in Florida, and Missy Partika, who is in Mississippi, Alabama. So this is our team, and we work throughout the Gulf, coordinating outreach and information and webinars and sessions like this. So how we got started. 2010, there was the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. So BP gave $500 million to non-penalty funds. And from there, it was the Gulf of Mexico Research Initiative was formed and managed by GOMA. So it's a completely independent research board from any of BP management. It funds science and outreach. We try to keep that all science-based and not biased in any way. And then we have theme areas within this to study everything we could about the oil spill research. So we have fate and transport of the oil, chemistry of how it's all working together, environment and wildlife, technology, and all the aspects that go along with human health and our people that are using the Gulf as a healthy resource. So with that, a little bit about how we do our work is we're a neutral broker of information. And so we try to take government reports, peer-reviewed publications, and we'll turn those and translate those into outreach products, seminars, publications that can be used by anyone. So anyone who might be interested in some of these topics but doesn't have that science background, we try to be able to translate all of that information and the data and the findings that the scientists have found to everyone in the Gulf who might be interested, or outside of the Gulf. We've really worked with sort of an international team here. So with that, I'm going to talk about today's speakers. So we have Sarah Piewitz, Research Director at Texas Marine Mammal Stranding Network. We have Ryan Takashita, Deputy Director of Conservation Medicine and a research scientist at the National Marine Mammal Foundation. And we have Sylvain de Guise, Professor, Department of Pathobiology and Veterinary Science, University of Connecticut. So with these three wonderful speakers, we are going to talk all about some of the research that has been discovered on marine mammals throughout these past 11 years and how that's really going to help us affect in the future.